President Donald Trump has described the current government funding lapse as a rare chance to reduce the size and scope of the federal government. He announced plans to meet with Russell Vought, head of the Office of Management and Budget (OMB), to assess which agencies are political scams and should face funding cuts. Trump said he wants recommendations on whether these cuts should be temporary or permanent. On social media, Trump wrote, "I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity." He suggested that Democrats are not stupid, hinting that perhaps the crisis was part of their strategy, though one that ultimately gives him room to quietly and quickly make America great again. The partial government shutdown began after Congress failed to pass a funding bill. Trump has warned that the crisis could be used to make irreversible changes, including a fresh wave of federal workforce reductions. While his team insists they did not want the shutdown, they now view it as a chance to turn adversity into an advantage. Vice President Vance placed the blame squarely on Democrats, accusing them of pushing the shutdown by demanding taxpayer-funded emergency health care for undocumented immigrants. Vance also suggested that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer may be motivated by political pressures inside his own party, particularly a potential primary challenge from progressive Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt echoed these accusations, arguing that Democrats engineered the standoff to advance their own agenda, including expanded benefits for illegal immigrants. She emphasized that essential programs, such as support for women, infants and children, community health centers and Medicare services, are now at risk because Democrats refuse to agree to a straightforward temporary spending measure. At the heart of Trump's response is a broader ambition: to reshape the federal government by targeting agencies he views as politically aligned with the Democratic Party. His administration is pushing to make cuts not only immediate, but also structural, with the aim of limiting the power and budget of what they see as partisan-driven institutions. Critics, however, argue that using a shutdown to push aggressive restructuring undermines government stability and risks eroding public trust. They warn that major workforce reductions and program cuts could disproportionately affect vulnerable populations, especially since many agencies continue to operate under limited funding. The potential disruption to essential services could be long-lasting if permanent reductions are made in the middle of a fiscal standoff. For Trump, though, the funding lapse is framed as a unique chance to put his long-standing vision into action. He insists that this is not just a short-term skirmish over appropriations, but rather an opportunity to fundamentally change the structure and priorities of government. By demanding a blueprint from OMB, he is seeking clarity on which agencies should be trimmed, shut down, or restructured, and how lasting those changes should be. In summary, what began as a budgetary impasse is being reframed by Trump and his allies as a defining political moment, one that could lead to deep and possibly permanent cuts across federal agencies, reshaping the balance of power in Washington for years to come.